What is up, bros? Me, Josh here. In today's video, we're going to go over some Royal Navy cruiser builds for the 0.6 patch. I know there's been a lot of changes, so let's dive into it as we're in the lovely London port. So here we go. This is the Neptune, guys. This is the one I'm currently on, and I am absolutely loving this ship. It's amazing. It's awesome. I love it. It wrecks everything, and if you're a destroyer within about 10 kilometers of this thing, you're probably going to die because this is god tier level amazing. Neptune, can't wait for the Minotaur. So let's dive into the builds. This is the build I'm running right now. It's a pretty standard build. Now, this is for a 19-point captain. I think the base of every Royal Navy cruise right now is basically going to be these three skill first. So, going on for the rest of these builds, this is going to be the first 10 points. So just keep that in mind. Then build off of that. So I think priority target is going to be the first one. Now, this one is kind of up to whatever you want. I really, really like Smokescreen Expert for Royal Navy cruisers. Why do I like that? Because sometimes you get the dreaded single puff. And what that is instead of laying two puffs down, it just lays one single puff. So in the chance of that happening, this increases the puff of the size of that single puff. Now, you're not going to have that happen all the time. It just happens sometimes. I hope they change that. I don't know if it's a bug or not. But this increases the puff. Although if you do get the normal two puffs, this actually increases the area relatively largely, so you can help with some other ships getting into that smoke and hopefully keeping them safe. I'm really, really enjoying this for Royal Navy cruisers. Now, if you're completely fine with the two normal puffs, you could switch it out for Adrenaline, or even Jack of all trades, maybe for some faster smokes. So any of those three, I think, are going to be fine, especially for Adrenaline Rush. You could even play with it as if you do take a big hit while you're in smoke and you're relatively low life. If you want to gamble, you could leave your health really low, since the heals are amazing for Royal Navy cruisers. Pump out a lot of damage, and then as you're getting ready to leave, you're going to heal back up. It's very, very risky, but it is something you could kind of use and abuse Adrenaline Rush for. For me, I particularly like Smokescreen Expert, and that's what I'm going to recommend. So for the third tier skill, Superintendent, you want that extra smoke. Basically, you're going to do the majority of your damage while you're in smoke. That's how the Royal Navy cruisers are. You're going to do the majority of it where you can't be seen, or you're going to be lobbying over mountains. So you basically make your own mountain with the smoke, and you want to be having as many smokes as possible. So Superintendent is probably my go-to must get for 3. And then for 4th, go Concealment Expert. You don't want to be spotted. You're super fragile. The weakness to any Royal Navy cruiser is being spotted. So Concealment Expert is the way to go, especially at high tiers, because things are so accurate and everything. So those are my first 4. After that, I went kind of for a pseudo AA build with this, and it's amazing. If any planes get within 7.2 kilometers of me, they're going to get shredded. I think I'm well over 100 AA on this thing. So what I ended up going with was BFT and manual fire control. I would probably pick up manual fire control first because it helps a lot, because it's all like the main guns, and then pick up BFT at 17. And then I had about 2 extra points, so I went with Jack of all trades just for faster smoke and sonar and all kinds of stuff like that. You could pick up Adrenaline Rush. So this is the build I'm going with right now. I'm really, really enjoying it. My original build was I switched out manual fire control for AFT, and although I think it's like 8 point something, it's pretty nuts, the range on the AA. But manual fire control, if anything gets within 7.2, you start to shred it. So I'm really, really enjoying this build. It's a lot of fun. Now, this is going to be better for higher tier play. So like the Neptune, the Edinburgh, the Minotaur for higher tiers. But I think this build would work well throughout the entire go, because as you're going kind of through mid tier, you're only going to have so many points anyways. So like I said, though, priority target first, Smokescreen, I highly recommend. Superintendent and Concealment Expert are going to be your first 10 points. So let's dive in to the Ship Comrade Calculator and kind of show some alternate builds that you guys could definitely use, and I think would be super effective. So here's another build I could see being very effective for Royal Navy cruisers, and this is more of a Destroyer Hunter build. Now, if you saw my last video for USNDDs, it kind of follows that, but this is kind of going to be a late match, a late game hunting the DD build. Royal Navy cruisers are pretty quick. You could easily hunt one down. So basically the same thing. Priority target, Smokescreen, Superintendent, and Concealment Expert. What I did was then pick up RL, or Radio Positioning Finder. This is going to help you find those DDs and hunt down maybe stuff that's hiding behind islands, because you need to be aware of what is around you. So anytime you can get any information would be really, really good. After that, I'd pick up Vigilance to help spot torpedoes on top of sonar. This is really, really nice. And avoiding any damage is really, really nice, especially going against DDs. And then picking up Jack of all trades. This is just a really solid build, I think, throughout, and would be a really good way to maybe hunt down the DDs, hunt down other stealthy cruisers, and just be aware of what is around you, especially when you're in a Royal Navy cruiser. If you take a single hit, you can be deleted from, I mean, a battleship or even a cruiser can half you in one salvo. So you have to be really, really aware of what's around you. So radio location is pretty solid. In my other build, I basically switched out this for manual fire control because I just going more of an AA build. Now, with this build, you're going to be more susceptible to getting struck by air. Your AA is still going to be really good, but just not as good. So be aware because you don't get an AA consumable as well. So basically, everything's going to drop without getting like spread out as you would with an AA consumable. So you have to be kind of cautious of what kind of planes are around. But this is definitely going to be worse against planes, but it's going to be better against like DDs and other stealthy ships. So this is definitely a decent build you could try out. Now this is kind of a third possible build you could run, and this is basically going full AA. You are full murdering planes, and you're going to hate CVs. If you're playing, let's say you're divisioning with the CV a lot, this is going to be a build that would really, really help him with shooting down, maybe if you're playing against a fighter setup or something like that, if he's running strike, some kind of situation like that. This is probably the third setup I could go, and this is full AA. Now this is super risky, but if you're kind of running a more support role, this is, I think, a loadout that could definitely help you a lot. Basically, you are going full AA. You're going basic firing training, AFT, and manual AA. Anything within, I think, like 8.5 kilometers is going to get absolutely obliterated. It might even be closer to 9, actually. It's a bit more risky, so you're dropping concealment expert, so you're going to be spotted from farther away, which is super dangerous being a Royal Navy cruiser. But you're picking up AFT, which is going to be awesome for the AA, manual fire, and BFT. So you're going to be taking more damage, so Adrenaline Rush you're going to benefit a lot more from. So this is an awesome AA build. You're going to absolutely shred stuff all the way through up, because I think even starting at Fiji, your AA is pretty good. So if you're running with the CV, let's say you're divisioning a lot with a friend that's playing a CV, this is going to be a really, really good build to help support him. Now it's going to be a bit more risky for you not having concealment. So things are going to outspot you, even, the same ship that is running concealment is going to outspot you. So just something to be careful. You have to play a bit more cautious, maybe a bit farther back. So this probably isn't like the strongest for being an offensive threat, but definitely a supportive role right here. I mean, you're just going to absolutely tear down planes. I would probably, for like the normal player, if you're just solo queuing, I would go with kind of the other two builds. I think those are going to be a lot better. But if you are going with a division, this is going to help a lot more. The Royal Navy Cruise Line is a blast to play, and these builds should hopefully help you out throughout the entire line. I know a lot of people have trouble with the start of it. The beginning of the line is pretty tough, getting through Tier 5, and then the line gets pretty good at the Leander. And then if you can get to the Fiji, you're going to absolutely enjoy this line, I swear. Getting to the Edinburgh, I love the Fiji, I love the Edinburgh, and I am... The Fiji or the Neptune is probably my favorite ship to play right now. So if you can get through those lower tier ships, guys, trust me, the line is worth it. And then you can get on to the Minotaur, which is just an absolute beast, guys. But here are some builds in the 0.6 patch, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope this helps. Remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.